Thank you for joining me for the weekly update from Crestview. As you know, at the conclusion of the school day on Friday, we will begin our spring break. And we hope that you're able to have some downtime and some rest and relaxation with your family. If you're traveling, please make sure you reference the notes regarding Rocco's recommendations for following the CDC guidelines for travel. So, again, you can find a link to that in the email itself. Also, we're excited to welcome back more of our students who will be joining us for the final fourth quarter of our school year. So we'll be happy to have them back with us on Monday, the 29th. If you are returning or if you're at home student, you're going to start new classes on the 29th. So please check Infinite Campus for those courses. And for our at-home students, you will need to make sure that you're checking Canvas so that you have your appropriate tiles and that you have your new Zoom links. Parents, I'm asking for some help for our at-school students upon a return. We've noticed a little bit more of this with students keeping their hoods up while they're in the school building. And if you can imagine, if a student is walking around with the hood on or sitting in class with the hood on and have this mask covering up most of their face, we really only get to see about this much, and it really makes it hard to see who it is that we're speaking with. It also presents an image of disengagement. If a student is in class and is sitting there with the hood up, it's real easy for them to disengage from class. So we are going to tighten that up upon our return from spring break, and we're going to ask that our students keep their hats and hoods down while they're in the school building at all times. So I'm asking that you will review that with your son or daughter so that they know the expectation. We will be sharing that information with the students. But they need to make sure that they're adhering to that expectation while they're at school. The other thing I'm going to ask that you speak to them about are these, the Airpods. It's often a great use of it in classrooms, especially when teachers may have their students Zooming with their at-home students. I think it's a great way for them to be able to maintain that communication. However, they shouldn't have them in their ears as they're walking around the school building, in the hallway, or in the cafeteria. It makes it really difficult for us to engage in conversations with them. A lot of times they may not hear it because I'm pretty sure they're connected to their phones in their pockets or in their book bags. So we're going to be asking our students to put those away when they do not have permission from the teacher to use them. And we will treat those just like we do our cell phones. If the students have them out when they're not supposed to, they're asked to turn them in and they have to pick them up at the conclusion of the school day. We really don't want to do that, but we also want to make sure that we can easily communicate with our students and that they're safe. So again, if you just reiterate those expectations with your students at home about not having the hats or hoods or keeping their AirPods out of their ears when they do not have permission from the teacher to do so. I stated last week about the survey about what you wanted to do for your student for the 21-22 school year. And there was just a little bit of miscommunication. We want to make sure that every family responds to that survey. There is a link in the email so you can quickly do that. It takes just seconds to do, but you do need your child's student number. But we need to know for sure if there are any families that have an interest in having their student work online or not. So if you're planning to send your student back to school, great. I still need you to go ahead and click on that so that we don't have to follow up with all of you with a phone call. And as of right now, we're missing well over 500 responses. So if you could please go ahead and respond to that, that would be fantastic. If you're going to be an at-home student, going back to that for next year, if you want to be an at-home student for next school year, it will be more of an online option. It'll look completely different than what we are doing currently. There's lots of information that you should read prior to making that decision. So please access all of that via the email that is sent. And if you're going to be an at-home student for the fourth quarter, we are going to need your son or daughter to come in to take the MAP test on some of our virtual days that we'll have. There is a survey that was sent to just our virtual students, but if you have not completed that survey and let us know that you're going to be able to bring your son or daughter to school for the MAP testing or not, I'm asking that you'll complete that survey, and it is in the email as well. There's some other information about some trainings for both parents and teens about suicide prevention, which is in the email as well. There's also the slate for our CPO board for the upcoming school year. So I think our families for volunteering their time to be able to support our school in that role. If you're interested in seeing who all of them are, you can see our volunteer list in the email also. Again, I hope you have a wonderful spring break. And again, please reference those guidelines if you're planning to travel. And if you got questions about that or any of the other things that I discussed with you today, feel free to reach out to me at any time. Have a great day.